Hey, it's Tony Fonte. How you doing? I make the spiritual awakening journey fun. Today's message is a question, and it is, do you feel safe in your body? I'm going to dive into this question. I'm actually dived into my own experience with this, which I'm actually still currently going through. So this is a very vulnerable and deep share for me. However, I do know this often happens when you're going through a spiritual awakening journey, when you're coming back home to yourself. We're going to dive right into that after we get back, so don't go nowhere. Woo! All right, welcome back. We're going to dive into the question is, do you feel safe in your body? As we go into a spiritual awakening, I've often heard people talking about not feeling safe in their body, not feeling safe to be them. And that's really what it boils down to. Not feeling safe to be them, but they're not feeling safe in their body. Like their body's not safe. Like something's wrong. They're going to find something wrong with them. Something's going to happen. Something's the matter. And it's often this case when we go through a spiritual awakening journey, as I said. And I remember hearing people talk about that. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Feeling safe in your body. I feel fine. I feel great. But as I started going through the awakening journey, I started realizing that I didn't feel as safe as I thought I did. And then last year, and I want to just show you this story and how things that happen in our outside world, we think they're so separate. There's no connection between what's going on in our inner world. It's just a thing that happened. And how the outside world actually reflects back to us what we're experiencing on the inside, and how most of that is unconscious until we dive into the work on understanding why it's happening. So I want, and then because it's happening again, so I started working through it, and it's just recently started coming up again, and I'm starting to see some correlation, possible correlation of what's happening and why it's happening. So last August, August last year, August 2021, I remember I was in a spiritual workshop, a challenge, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going in, I'm going to start creating, I'm going to be more me, I'm going to start creating more messages and put myself out there more. It's time, let's fucking do it. Let's get out there. And I started doing it. And of course, when you do those things, you're going to face resistance, inner resistance of why you can't do that. So then September, so about a month later, I wasn't feeling well, I was sick. But I remember going in and the time before that going to the doctor, which I've never had an issue going to the doctor, never had issues going to the doctor. So it was conscious, but yet unconscious at the same time, because I remember hearing it as I said it to myself, heard the thought as I said it to myself, but it didn't click of it really into my awareness until shortly after, as I was doing some work. So I'm at the doctor's office, and I felt a little anxious, didn't understand why, but I heard this thought, and I mean, it was literally in the background of, they're going to find something wrong with me. Not COVID, not anything else, which that's not an issue. I've had that 3 times. But they're going to find something wrong with me. Never understood why I was thinking that, but they're going to find something wrong with me. And here we go. I feel the emotion coming up as I'm talking about it. So the tech comes in, takes my blood pressure. He says, oh, your blood pressure is a little high. It's like 140 over something, which is not a big deal. I was like, all right. Well, then he starts like freaking out. Oh, you're going to have to, you're going to be going, you have to go somewhere, which means you're going to go to the emergency room. You got to go, and you're not staying here. Like, I was going to be forced to go somewhere. And I'm like, it's just 140. It's not that bad. It's high, but not that bad. Well, that started freaking me out, and I'll go into the fight mode. I was like ready to fight. I'm like, no, you're not forcing me anything. So I'm in this having to get ready to fight mode. So then he checks my blood pressure again, and well, then I will go into a panic attack, and it's like 190 over whatever, which my heart's pounding out of my chest at that point. So, but I was really calm, and I'm like, well, now my heart's pounding. You're setting me into a panic attack. Thanks. So then he leaves. They take the test. I'm anxious, lightheaded, but I start calming down. The doctor herself comes in, explaining it to her, and she kind of giggles and says, well, this is a stressful situation. Didn't think anything of it. It is what it is. He comes back in. That's what it was. No, take that back. So he comes back in to take it the second time. That's after the doctor was in. And that's when I started to freak out, which I've never had issues issue at all, ever, with the doctor, blood pressure. Well, I've had moments where it's up a little bit, but I mean, I just do some breaths and it's back down and relax and it's good. Never had issues. And that's when the panic attack happened. So he's like, oh, I got to figure this out and go here. I'm getting nervous. My stomach's bothering me. And then ultimately I was able to leave. Doctor's like, just let him go. It's fine. And I was like, why did that happen? So then I'm going through, I'm like, I'm not feeling safe. Oh, and then one time before, because it's happened in my family a lot, is heart attacks. Well, I move a lot of energy through my body. And I had this fear of heart attacks or this or that. It's just something. Well, all of a sudden now everything is going crazy. I have all these irrational fears start coming up. Oh shit, they're going to find wrong with here. They're going to find something wrong here. Oh, what's this? What's that? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ah. And it's been crazy. And then I realized that back from childhood, I thought something was wrong with me. When my mom and dad, especially my dad, majority of it's, I talk about my dad. My mom had some things, but she had her own way. But my mom and dad stopped showing me love. And I thought something was wrong with me. And that was the moment I abandoned myself. So here we are, all these years later, I'm coming back as we do in a spiritual awakening. We're coming back because most of us, and I've learned this recently, most of us aren't even inside our body because it doesn't feel comfortable. Well, how are we outside of our body if we're going throughout our life? We still have a connection and still feel, but we're not fully in our body. We are hovering above with an energetic cord, so we still feel, we still experience, but we're not fully in our body. Because we don't like the way it feels. We think something's wrong with us. We think something's wrong. So we're out. So as we start healing, as we start doing the work, we come back home to ourselves. We start rediscovering ourselves. We come back to our truest nature. We come back to our body. Now our body's freaking out. We can't be ourselves. And that's what I realized what was going on recently. The more, each time that I step into more and I make a commitment to myself to dive deeper into what I want to experience, doing more videos, bringing more content, being more myself, sharing my message, sharing my purpose, sharing my gifts. The more that I am myself, the more I take into, the more I set the intention and actually take the inspired action towards that, I realize that it triggers that. Which, like with anything else, when you take steps, and that's a video that I just recently recorded, when you take steps towards who you want to become and what you want to create in your life, you're going to be triggered. It's all these stories of everything that's wrong with you. But here's another kicker that I've recently realized. Is it can also have ties to past lives. And I don't know the details. I just had this knowing and this feeling of something happened back in the day. Don't know what timeline it was. Don't remember what time frame it was. I know it was around the witches and wizards when you were sharing these magical powers, right? Our superpowers, when witches were burned, wizards were freaking killed. There was a moment that the doctors of the time or something along those lines, they tried to do things, force me to do things to stop my powers, to stop my magic, to stop my gifts, to cut off the connection to that power and that source, which we can't. And I think ultimately I died, but I don't know. I haven't dove deep into that. But here I am moving through more and more, and it's coming up again. It's coming up. Oh God, what if I go to the doctor again? Oh, more of my blood pressure. And then I try to control and I try to and I gotta fight, right? I gotta fight. And we don't have to fight. We just have to be. We are in control of ourselves. We are in control of how we react and respond, no matter the outcome. And the true freedom comes for let go and move through it and feel through it. And the more we let go and we feel through it and allow and accept what is, even if there is a health issue, we accept what is and we're able to move and heal through that. But most of it is because we're coming back home and we're becoming ourselves more. Because most of us are walking through this world, we aren't really being ourselves. And for those who are saying, I'm myself, are you? Can you freely go out and be you in public? Can you twerk in Target at the self-checkout, in front of customers, in front of employees? Yes, that's happened. And actually, I'm going to start charging because one girl keeps telling me, hey, I bring so-and-so over. Hey, do that thing. Do that thing for her. She didn't see it. I'm going to start charging for my services for that. Can you do that and not be worried? Are you worried about likes? Are you worried about what people are going to think? Are you truly being you? Are you actually doing everything that you want to do in your life and not worrying about what other people think? And I bet you the answer, if you really think about it, is no. Because you're not really being you. But when you start doing that and you rediscover, we think, oh, spiritual awakening, yay, butterflies, just everything flying around. And it's not usually the case. There's going to be some amazing moments, but it can be deep because now we're relearning. We're relearning how to feel. We're relearning how to experience. We're relearning how to communicate. We're relearning how to love. We're relearning everything. And now instead of being outside of our body, kind of just feeling but not quite feeling, now we're reconnecting with ourselves. And as we go through this healing journey, all this shit's going to come up. I hope that's helped you. I hope that serves you. I'd love to hear from you on this subject. And oh, by the way, let me step back for a moment. If you're feeling not safe in your body, unsafe in your body, you're not fucking crazy. You're not going crazy for having experienced this. And I'm saying that because there were moments that I thought, what the fuck? Am I going crazy? Am I crazy? Why am I feeling this way? I never felt this way before. I've never had this issue in my whole fucking life. Why is this happening now? But the more that you connect with yourself, I want to give you this. The more that you connect with yourself and you feel and breathe life into your body and you let go of the things you can't control and let the universe, let God, let your higher self, let your spirit team guide you, take care of the rest. And I know that is scary for many because it's been scary for me too, to let go and trust. The more you breathe into your body, the more that you feel into your body, the more that you experience into your body, the more peace and the more safe you will become. And the more that you are actually taking the inspired action by being yourself, the more safe you will feel and become. And don't be like me and try to force it so that you can get past that. I've done that, and it actually prolongs it. I do that a lot. I don't want to feel this way. I want this to fucking go away. I want to fucking heal as fast as I can so I can get to doing what I want because I don't want to feel this anymore. And it doesn't work that way. You're going to keep living it. So I'm learning to feel through it, learning not to react to it and let the fear of when it's happening to take over. And giving that part to my spirit team and asking the angels, asking my guides to help in this healing and process and doing my part to ground, to feel, to breathe, to be. All right, I hope this has helped. Hope this serves you. I want to hear from you. Just answer that question for me. Do you feel safe in your body? Yes or no? And then what came up for you as you watched this video and listened to this message? What came up from you? I'd love to hear from you. Make sure that you're liking, subscribing, and hitting that notificator button if you want to be notified of new videos, if it resonates with you. And make sure that you share it with the people that you care about, that you think of, that can benefit from this. And as in every message, if you love some support, some help on navigating feeling safe in your body, and you want to do some energy work, and you want some intuitive reading, channeling your guides, my guides, to help on those next steps to clarity, to moving forward, book a session, individual session with me, links below. Grab any of the intuitive healing meditations I have below if it resonates with you. And until next time, I'll see you on the next episode of the Laughing Through Life show. Peace.